Hello, everybody. It's me. You know, Hazer, that guy, talks about Smite. Here to talk about Smite, funnily enough. SPL Season 9 play-in tournament format and teams have been announced. And so, it's time to go over them. I'm sure you've all seen the article. Probably a lot of you will be waiting on my reaction to the teams coming out as well. I think last year I pre-recorded stuff and was kind of ready for it. This year it's just, I don't know, because the changes were a little bit underwhelming and because I didn't know when the rosters were going to come out and they were so delayed. Lacked motivation on that, but I'll put a video out around it shortly. But for now, let's focus on what we're focusing on, and that is going to be the Season 9 SPL play-in tournament. Hopefully this is fine. So yeah, you've got 10 teams playing for 2 SPL spots, the 2 remaining spots, the top 6 teams, you know, still the top 6 teams who attended Worlds, essentially, with a couple changes. Valks drop out. Only Valks player competing for a spot is Ducky. Warriors stick together and go into this tournament. Format, well, it starts February 16th, which is Tuesday of next week, so pretty soon. And it runs for 5 days. Double Elam bracket, best of 3 matches until finals, best of 5 finals. So I assume this is just, I don't know what it means by final. I need to look at the bracket proper. Let's have a look at the bracket quickly now to see what it means by finals, because I was wondering if it means losers bracket and winners bracket. So it looks like winners bracket final. Okay, so that makes sense. So they don't have a final. So winners bracket goes until the final, which is best of 5. Loser of that will drop down into this and play another best of 5. I wonder if these are on the same day. That could be a lot of gaming in one day. But yeah, we have a winner's bracket final and a loser's bracket final, but no final, which makes sense. We don't need to have a winner for this tournament. There's no prize money on the line. Top 2 make SPL. So yeah, okay. Blah, blah, blah. They're talking about they want to fly them out. I'm hopeful that all the teams will make it out. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't right now. Travel seems to be opening up. As long as people who have signed up are vaccinated and able to get there. I wonder if they made it so that you have to be vaccinated to compete in this. I don't know. But I know that when I went to the studio for Worlds, I had to prove my vaccination status, send that over. So I would assume that's the case. But you never do know. Anyway, let's just talk about the teams. Let's talk about the teams that are coming into it and what can be expected of them. Starting with Team 1. Team names are slightly awkward. I mean, it is what it is. There's not a lot you can do about it. You could call them by their captain's name, but again, it's not going to help that much. Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4, Team 5, Team 6, Team 7, Team 8, Team 9, and Team 10. It is seeded. I don't know how they did the seeding. I don't know if they've talked about it in this article. Should probably know this kind of stuff, huh? But it's definitely seeded in some fashion. You can tell by the order of the teams and by the fact that the top 6 don't have to play in the first round of matches. The bottom 4 do. And the top 6 feature the SEC and SPL players, I believe. All of the team with the more tenured players, the players with more competitive experience, are in the top 6. I don't know if this was seeded in an opinionated fashion or what. Team 5 being so high up is slightly confusing to me. Maybe it's because I'm not as up to date on the NASCC as I could be. But it's strange to me that this team is so high up above, admittedly, one of the weaker EU-SEC teams in terms of placings. But yeah, I would assume there's been some kind of seeding gone on here, probably based on competitive experience, etc. Let's get into the teams anyway. Team 1, it's the Only Warriors. You know them, you love them, maybe. You love to hate them, maybe. You're disappointed by them, most likely. The Only Warriors, favorites for the tournament. I think they should make it. I think this is going to be a high pressure situation, especially for a team like them, though, who are expected. They're the only team, really, with a weight of expectation on them here, in my opinion. They live there. This is for their livelihoods. They're playing for their careers and where they live right now and their lives in the US that they've been living for the last 2 years. If they don't win this tournament or finish top 2, they got to give all that up. That's just, I think that's the case anyway. I don't know what else they would do. They'll probably lose their visas, and have to head home, which is just crazy. The amount on the line here. This really is the biggest tournament of the year apart from Worlds. The most on the line, the most at stake. You win this tournament. What is the salary these days? $46,000. That's what you're winning. You have to work for that. Admittedly, you have to go and still play video games for the next 9 months or whatever. But yeah, it's a lot of money that you're either going to get or not get, depending on the result of this tournament. So a lot of pressure on these guys. I would say that I expect them to come through the bracket and qualify. What's my level of certainty though? Maybe 90%, which I think, it sounds high. 1 in 10 times they wouldn't make it. 1 in 10 happens all the time. 1 in 10 happens very, very often. 1 in 10 times. Probability is a bit of a pain to talk about, but yeah, I'm not like these guys are definitely going to make it. So 90% might even be high for me, but I think they will make it. I think they are the best team in the tournament. I think they have a lot of experience. They just need to execute. So let's see if they do. Interested to see how they get on. Team 2, Aquarius, Kermie, Benny Q, Gamma, Wowie, and Sharks as their coach. This is the Winter Dogs, pretty much. Or is it exactly the Winter Dogs? It is, right? Was Aqua on the Winter Dogs? Dude, I gotta check. Winter Dogs. Where are they? Let's look at this. This'll tell us. We're doing it live right now. Okay, it was Aqua. I had to make 100% sure. Sorry, Aqua. Sorry to the Winter Dogs as well. I didn't know this was their roster. But anyway, Winter Dogs, probably the second favorites, and rightfully so. A lot of people might have Team 3. Some people are going to have Team 7 above them. But for me, I think this team, they've played together for a while. They're definitely all talented players. They're definitely hungry, I would think. So we'll be interested to see how they get on. Do I have them as my second favorite? That's a good question. I actually think I probably would have Team 3 over them, who we'll get into right now. Ducky, Luconium, Moswell, Hurwin, Snoopy, and Kassir. Kassir formerly coaching in the SPL for Obey. Stepping back into it. Snoopy stepping back into it. Hurry stepping into a new role. Moswell, former world champion. Luconium and Ducky. Ducky, we know how good he is. Don't say it. Don't say it, chat. He's been the number 8 solo laner in the SPL for a few years, but I think Solo's a stacked role at the SPL level, and I think he's better than anybody outside the SPL. That comes to mind for me immediately. Maybe fuck, what's his name? Camazot's player, Gino's brother. His name is Relentless One. Maybe him. He's probably the top solo laner for me outside of the SPL. Terrorim was doing well for a while, Deathwalker as well, but I would still probably have Ducky over all of them except Deathwalker. Because Deathwalker in his prime was an absolute monster. Depends which version of Deathwalker you get, though. Luconium on this team is the question mark for me, though. I'm actually pretty confident Hurwin's transition to the support role will go well. I think more players should do this transitioning into the support role. Snoopy's been absolutely slamming the game non-stop. Great streamer, by the way, if you're looking for a new ADC streamer to watch. I love watching Snoopy. Crosswords in the queue, my favorite part. Moswell, pretty sure will play great. Ducky, I think, will show up and play well. Luconium is the one who, I don't know how good Luconium is in the jungle. I've seen him in some ranked games. I've not really seen him play that much comp. So I'm interested to see how that works out. Jungle has a lot of influence on the game. And if Luconium can't perform, then this team probably won't make it. So he's the one who a lot of the weight's going to be on for this team, in my opinion. Excited to see them. This is my favorite to qualify alongside the Warriors. Team 4. Team without a coach. First team without a coach. And only team without a coach, I believe. Yes, only team without a coach. You've got Uzi Solo, Ice Ice Jungle, Kiki, Wit Dahudi, coming in with a new name one more time in mid, Ocean Support, and Joshi ADC. This is quietly a good team. I think Joshi is a pretty underrated player. When he was on Luminosity, I thought he was really, really good. I thought he was by far the best player on that team. Ocean supposedly was nearly SPL last year in the support role. So we'll see how he gets on. Kiki, not seen too much out of Kiki in the recent past. Did kind of, in my opinion, got surpassed by the players around when they were competing previously. So we'll see if Kiki can still keep up. Ice Ice, I think, still a fantastic player. I think proved that on the Valkyries. You know, a very lackluster Valkyries team that were struggling hard with ping. I thought Ice, I love the way Ice plays in the jungle. Very impactful. You know, he's never going to quietly lose a game. He puts it all out there. I like the way Ice plays. And Uzi, I think, is a really good solo laner. I'm actually surprised to see Uzi away from El Leon. I thought those guys liked competing together. But we'll get onto the El Leon team later on. Uzi on this roster. I like this roster. I think it's good. I think it is like probably... Is it a dark horse? We'll see. Team 5. See, I don't know that much about Team 5. Mineral obviously used to play support at the competitive level. Vaughn, a lot of people think his Twitter is real good. Everybody was tweeting, that was everyone wanted everyone to vote for Vaughn, right? But and I know he like hangs out with Nika and the neighborhood guys, Dame as well. Dame is absolutely yoked. I don't know if any of you have seen Dame on Twitter. The guy is in some shape. Very impressive. If you can bring that kind of dominance to the jungle, I'll be impressed. Delny, ex-console, unless I'm mistaken. I'm not sure about Teepers. I definitely recognize the name, but I don't know. But yeah, this team, bit of a wild one for me. Jumpa, also an ex-console player. Bit of a wild one for me. I don't know how they're going to perform. I wouldn't expect them to qualify just off of the names, but maybe if they grind and if they come in. The thing about this tournament is if one team comes in with the best meta, they'll do it. It's like Worlds. If a team comes in with the best meta, they'll win. That's how it goes. When we have these breaks in competitive play, you can see big switches in momentum and big changes in the way teams play. And this tournament definitely has potential for that. So this team, I'm not particularly high on, but could do well. Team 6. One of my probably bolder predictions is that I think this team will do well. I think maybe reach winners bracket semis, losers bracket finals maybe, or loser bracket semis. I don't think they'll qualify, but I quite like this team. Group of Spanish guys. We've got 2 full Spanish teams in this tournament, by the way. Shout out to the Spanish region carrying EU, wanting to compete, which is cool. Spain's always been I don't know if everybody knows this, but Spain's a massive region in EU for Smite. A lot of Spanish players play the game, and I've kind of grown up with the game, which is cool. A lot of young guys come through the comp scene, supporting Warchi and stuff like that. Warchi and Julio, big stream followings. But anyway, Team 6, Just F6, they're known as. They played in the SCC. They didn't have amazing results in the SCC, but I think they're pretty good. They've got some grinders on this team. Mastkill plays an ungodly amount of Smite. Grinds the game a lot, works hard. I think if this team... I don't personally think they're ready for SPL yet. You know, I think this will be a great experience for them. Could be a great learning experience. They could make it. Who knows? Anybody can make it, as I was saying. But yeah, I think this team could do really well. Sotos, Mastkill, and Listomix in particular, I'm pretty high on. Rotwin and Totty, I mean, they're good. They're definitely good. I think duo lane wise, though, I think that could be where this team struggles a bit. We all call Rotwin Goatwin, though, in EU. He is the GOAT. So we shall see. That's Team 6. Team 7, the El Leon team. The one that you're going to have... So controversial take incoming. Not really controversial. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with it, but this is I'm gonna have a lot of Elion fans, and a lot of Elion fans are gonna be supporting this team and saying they're gonna do great and saying that they're the favorites. I've already seen it in places. They're not the favorites. They're not a top 3 team here. But I do think they're good. I'm a big fan of Zen. I think Zen is a really good player. I think Zen could have made it in comp earlier if he didn't have what I would describe as an attitude problem. I think people would know what I'm talking about in that sense. I think he's hurt himself a little bit with the way he comports himself in ranked and on stream, or did. I think he took a break from streaming. I like Elion, Dashboard, and Zen here. I think they're all good players. Schlemmy, Malachi, I know a bit about. Malachi, pretty good. Schlemmy, I have no fucking idea. I'll be honest with you. I've seen Schlemmy in some ranked queues since I saw their name in this, but I have no idea if they're good. I could not tell you. But this is a team that will look to play on Elion's experience, his shot calling, kind of go back to enemy Pain Divion days of Elion. Elion is the equivalent of Pain in that, where he is the marshal. He's the one who's telling you what to do and you better listen, which is the way that I think his teams tend to function off his shot calling. Can definitely work, can bring a team like with that single-minded purpose. Sometimes when you commit to, I'm not saying that Elion makes bad calls, this is just an aside, but this is a related comment, but it's not a shot at his shot calling. Sometimes when you commit to a bad call as 5 people, rather than kind of, well, we should do this instead, we should do that instead. If you commit to one call as a team, you can make a bad call a good call. You can make a bad call better than a good call that isn't fully committed to, because you're not all listening to the same person and you're all trying to think about what's best to do. And I think that's a real strength of his, especially when it comes to tournaments like this, where people aren't the teams haven't had time to gel. So if they all listen and they all do as he says, I think this team could do well. Sad Dragon as well. Sad Dragon, I think, is a pretty good player. I think Sad Dragon's a good jungler as well, which is interesting to me, because I think they play jungle. NA lack of knowledge is showing one more time. But yeah, surprised to see them coaching rather than playing themselves. Team 8. Snaddy, Jangaru, Briz, Privative, Shinigami, and the best are. I actually think this team is, I would have this team in the conversation with Team 7. I actually think they might be slightly better than Team 7. In fact, I like this team from what I've seen of them. Jangaru in the jungle, I think, is a really good player. Shinigami, I've seen play ADC. Privative, I've seen play support. The best Otter as coach, Taco, as you may know her, was out there looking for a coach position. It's cool that she's going to get the chance. Yeah, I think this team's decent. Again, my lack of NA knowledge, Briz, I don't know who that is. I don't think I've ever seen that name before. I'll be honest with you. So that is just one of these things. I'm not in NA. I don't play NA ranked, so I don't know the players as well. Maybe I need to fill that gap in my knowledge. I watched the Nika queue. Are they not in that? Anyway. Team number 9, our second all-Spanish team. Wengu, Ray Shadow, Mark, Dark Wizard, and Chekio. This team's alright. For me, I don't even know. Last season, they didn't make SCC. I think they were playing, I don't know if the full roster was playing in SOC. Chekio, definitely for me, the shining light on this team. Dark Wizard, a player who I believe has moved from mid to ADC, but mid to support rather. But I don't know, maybe they've just always been a bit of a multi-role talent, because I have seen them in ranked playing support. Mark, Ray Shadow, Wengu, they're good players, they're high level players, but are they SPL players? For me, no. Chekio is the only one on this team that I would say, like, if they were picked up for an SPL team, if they were going for an SPL spot, I wouldn't raise my eyebrows at. But it'll be cool to see how they perform, and it's nice to see some of you players going for it. Team 10, yeah, Slash, Wind in the Rain. Sorry. I'm sorry to this man. What's that video? I'm sorry to this man, but I don't know who that is. Baronary, I know. Monster Bomber and Antics, I know. I thought Monster Bomber used to play ADC. I could be wrong on that. And Vi as their coach. Oh, Team 9 doesn't have a coach either, by the way. There are 2 teams without coaches. Yeah, I don't know about this team. Don't know how they're going to do. Don't have strong feel. I have no strong feelings one way or the other about this team. I have no strong feelings about this team because I don't know how good they are. Okay. I hope that covered it. I've talked a lot. so far. Thing for me about the teams is a lot of the best SCC players haven't applied, which is sad, in my opinion. You want to see the best players wanting to be in the SPL. It's a shame that it doesn't happen. I can understand why players don't want to apply. But it's, sad not to see the top talent. You know, this kind of tournament was happening 8 years ago. You would have all of the best players from outside the SPL in it. Even 5 years ago, probably, you would have all of the best players from outside the SPL in it, wanting to compete, wanting to make it. But people move on with their lives. People don't want to move. It's especially in NA, a lot of the top SCC teams are made out of ex-SPL players who no longer want to compete, which makes sense. And in EU, there's a lot of players who can't commit to the move, or the full teams won't commit to the move, at least. So, you know, it is what it is, but it's sad. I just gotta say it's sad. Format, let's see, it is, you could play, could you play, no. I wanted to see if there could be 2 best of 5s for one team on the final day. No. Winners bracket final, loser. Winners bracket final will be played on the Saturday, and then you've got the losers bracket semi-final and the losers bracket final on the Sunday. But here's the schedule. I'm not going to go through it because it's just numbers. It's just numbers. We got a grand total of 17 matches, 15 best of 3s, 2 best of 5s, over 5 days. Exciting times. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'll be streaming 10:30 a.m. ET. Oh no, that is 3:30 my time, so I will be late for these streams. I'm afraid I'll try and finish up at 5 those days, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I think I've gone through the teams. My predictions are the team 1 and team 3. Or team 1 and team 2. I'm gonna go team 1 and team 3. I'm committing to it. So the Nika, Cuvo, Fred, Dardes, Neil, Mavo, Chuckles team, and the Ducky, Luconium, Moswell, Heroin, Snoopy, Kassir team make it through. That's my predictions. Cool. Video coming soon as well on the SPL teams. Thanks for watching, everybody. I gotta go play CSGO. And I'll see you next time. Bye.